Hello and welcome to another Vectary Speed CAD. My name is Lewis, and this time I'm making a little Christmas robin figurine. So again, I'm using Vectary, and this is for the Christmas competition. Starting off, just making the base sort of platform for the little robin to stand on. Basically taking a cylinder and extruding it, and then using the smooth tool to kind of round the edges off and make a little support base. Then what I'm doing is following that up by starting to make the legs, where I've taken another cylinder, extruded that, and then just manipulated it to put a little bit of texture in there. Now I'm putting some feet on the front and back, and then what I'm going to do is basically take this and mirror it to create both sides or both feet, and you'll see that coming up soon. So here you can see I've mirrored the feet, and I've started to draw what's going to become the main body. Obviously just doing a few little tweaks here and there where necessary before I start trying to manipulate the spear. So I've put in a sphere, I've transformed it so that it's more elliptical, more egg-shaped. Then what I'm trying to do is break it down so that it looks a bit more like the body shape that I'm trying to get. So in this sort of style I was trying to go for, an all-in-one smooth shape, and get some distinction in the head and the tail sort of area. And to do that, I'm using the mirror tool, and I've split the geometry so that obviously everything that I do is equal throughout. And yeah. Here you can see I was having a little bit of trouble just getting the smoothness in, so I've reformed and split that surface, and then what I'm going to do is continue tweaking that area to try and get the defined shape that I want. As you can see, I've baked the part now and it's starting to look pretty good, apart from this one little slip which has turned up halfway through. And what I do here is I just continue to bake, and again delete out the surfaces that I don't want, fill them in and just resplit them. So again, nice smooth seam, makes a good transition. Then what I'm doing here is I'm just unhappy with a few of the shapes, so I'm using the transform tools again, but I'm scaling it proportionally so that what I do on one side just happens on both. Now what I'm doing is pulling in another cylinder, which is going to start and be my base shape for the wings. And you can see I'm just trying to put a little bit of detail in so that when I smooth it, it becomes the desired shape, and I get the form that I really want. Here you can see I've just changed the scaling, and now I'm rotating the body around just to get it in the right place, and again I'm going to mirror it so it's the same on both sides. I don't know how other people do it, but I tend to keep all of the layers and all of the mirror features, just in case I end up accidentally deleting something, or if I want to come back and I want to change something. It just saves putting all that stuff back in and just basically starting from scratch. So I tend to keep those things, but I just end up hiding the mirror and the layer, and then I've got it as a sort of reasonable backup. Once again, I'm putting features in. I'm just putting in some little eyes here. Again, just using the spear tool and trying to get the thing where I want it, using transform, and then again I'm going to mirror it. Now I'm looking at making the beak, and I'm not extruding here, I'm using transform again just to pull surfaces and points where I want them. On this model I've decreased the grid size, so or increased the grid size to 10mm, so the snaps really sort of played havoc with this, but being able to turn them on and off is kind of essential when you're trying to do stuff like this. Now I've put in another body and I'm using this to make the red breast. One of the things I'm not too sure about with this program is whenever I'm making a new body, I kind of want the bodies to work like they do in more solid programs, or I don't know if that's just what I expect them to be like. But when you combine layers, they don't necessarily intersect, and so deleting surfaces that you don't want can be quite difficult. Here what I'm trying to do is make the tail, and again I've just put some basic details in. I'm splitting it so that I can get a 3D effect and just redistributing some stuff. Now I'm using the points and I'm going to use that to drag in and create that kind of wavy geometry, and as you can see in the once it's smoothed, it's really quite nice. Nice little tail there. And now you can see the final thing just coming together. A few little tweaks here and there, and then adding some colour. I had a little look at doing some more stuff at the base, but in the end I actually just left it pretty much as it was. And there you go, it's the finished article. Free download at Vectary and MyMiniFactory.